Hello everyone, welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. In the last episode we had a little bit of trouble here in Radiant Garden, and because of that I did some grinding, which we'll get into in a moment. But first today we're going to go to Disney Town, which means I will be doing next to no fighting. Depending on how long that takes, I might just go over to the Mirage Arena over here and just like do 1 or 2 rounds of fighting just so that we have a little bit of action. This shouldn't take that long, all things considered, because it's a fairly short world and a fairly boring world. So I'll show you the changes to the deck in a moment.
Unversed. I'll take you on.
Look out!
Huh? Hey, thanks for piping up back there. I mean it. The name's Terra.
It's nice to meet you, Terra. What are you, nuts? Running out onto the course like that? Yeah, that's against the rules. I'm sure you had your reasons, but I can't say that I approve either.
Well, rules don't apply when you're up against the unversed.
Rules don't apply? You sound just like Pete. Look, it's...
Although he does sound like a bad guy, yeah.
Disguised in shadows, the rogue racer reigns. I am Captain Dark. And you must be the chump who made me miss a new track record. Hold on, how's come I don't know you? Somebody bringing in a ringer?
Oh, I'm not even a racer.
Must be downright temptatious to try and stop a primo racer like me from getting the record, but we all gotta play by the rules, rookie.
Now, just a second. You're the no-good cheater who's always breaking the rules.
Well, I can't say racing interests me, but I need to defeat the unversed. Tell me what I've got to do.
Are you talking about all those carts that look like scary, ugly monsters?
They are scary, ugly monsters.
Well, we've only ever seen the monsters on the track.
That is just
That's it! Terra, you just need to enter the races.
straight up not true. They are in other places in Disney Town.
He's always breaking the rules and causing trouble.
I have to become a racer?
Now, I'm sure I don't have to tell you.
I know. I'll play by the rules.
Yay!
He's such a good guy. He's not an actual asshole until he is.
Whenever you're ready, I'll get you signed up and everything.
This entire world is one gigantic waste of time. There is some exploration to be done in this world. It's exploration that I will not be doing because I despise this world. I think you cannot skip it. I've not tried to skip it before. I probably should, but I don't think you can skip it. And just, I mean, it's a very, very short one because all you have to do is win this one race and that is the end of it. So it's not that bad, but the racing is just, it's not fun. It's just, it doesn't feel right. It's just bad. It's bad all around. Let's see, what are the controls are just bad. I like racing games. I like kart racing games, I should say. I don't much like enjoy normal racing games like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto is not a racing game. Flogger. Like Need for Speed or like Gran Turismo or something like that, right? Those kind of like, I don't want to call them necessarily realistic racing games because they're not, but they're not kart racing, they're not arcade racing, right? So those I don't appreciate as much. And things like Formula 1, that's just not my cup of tea, honestly. But arcade racing games, which is better known as just like straight up kart racing, I like that a lot. Mario Kart is probably, I mean, I always have fun with Mario Kart, honestly. And Crash Team Racing is amazing. And Crash Team Racing, what is it, Nitro Fueled, the PS4 remake, is not horrible. It's not as good as the original, but it's probably, I don't want to say it's not as good as the original. It has some microtransaction issues, which got added post-release, which is I kind of was afraid of that when I saw the microtransaction shop. It's like, but you're gonna fuck us over, aren't you? Because you're just gonna increase prices a couple of months after release. And they did! I don't know if they changed it back since then, because I do remember there being a lot of backlash for that. But yeah, that was a bit of a dick move. But just like, I'm so used to the physics of the original game that it's the same issue people had with the Insane Trilogy to begin with. The physics are ever so slightly different, and as a result of that, me having played so much of the original Crash Team Racing, I just can't get into the remake that much. I still enjoy it, and I think like the infinite boost thing works way better in the remake or something. I don't know that much like in technical details because I didn't dive that big into it. Oh, we can now do Mirage Arena Rumble races. We will probably be doing that. No, we won't.
Next time I'll clobber all of you.
I'm not 100%ing this game. I don't need to do the Mirage Arena. I do because I probably want to face No Heart at some point. Damn it.
Nobody's gonna vote for a weasel like you, Pete.
Pete? Vote? What are you talking about?
Chip means the Million Dreams Award. It's a very popular part of our Dream Festival. Everyone in town votes for who we think is the most exemplary citizen. And since everybody knows how much of a troublemaker Pete is, he probably figured wearing a disguise was the only way he'd get any votes. No votes, no prize. Yeah, the prize is all he really wants anyway. He doesn't care about being a good citizen. Oh, I think that's very sad. The award is supposed to help us appreciate how much...
Do you guys realize why I hate this world so much? Because everything about it sucks, including the dialogue.
Your racing really saved the day against those monster carts. Hip hip hooray for Terra!
Well, I got something out of it too. I learned that you don't always have to bend the rules to reach your goals.
Oh.
All this time, I've been staring into the darkness. But that doesn't mean I have to jump in.
I fucking love this sudden tonal shift of we are in Disney Town having a jolly good time and suddenly anime angst. I fucking love the very sudden tonal shift there. It's amazing. So yeah, we could probably, if we really wanted to, just go to the Olympus Coliseum or Deep Space, because neither of them are very long either, I don't think. Especially Olympus Coliseum is not that long. Deep Space is a little bit longer, I do think. But let's keep the one episode per world thing going. We're not going to end the episode here, obviously, but we haven't visited the Mirage Arena at all yet. And this is a cutscene I will skip because nothing is happening here. You can make... Oh, I forgot about this. You can make yourself any color. Can I make myself purely, like... I don't think I can make myself purely black. Just, like, a slightly darker shade of the normal colors. Yeah, let's go with that. Why not? So, you can do things here. You can fight. Arena. You can do command boards, which... well, we won't be doing. It's kind of like Monopoly. And Rumble Racing, which we definitely won't be doing either. So we have a couple of different ones around. Day of Reckoning, we have Wave of Fever, and Monster of the Sea. Let's see. Let's just start with the easiest one, Day of Reckoning. We're probably going to be able to do this fairly easily. Let's go through our command deck real quickly, because as you can see, we have 7 Fire Surges and 1 Curaga. We also have a Renewal block, which is just block, but when you successfully block, you regain HP, which is why I only need 1 Curaga, because I'll be able to get HP through blocking as well. Then we also in abilities have 3 fire boosts, so we're going to annihilate everything, is pretty much what's going on here. And that is that. It's going to be a real easy time for us, especially since this is a fairly low-level fight, I am pretty sure. So we can just do this and murder everything. This is pretty much just supposed to be a demo for how this deck is going to work. Next episode, when we're going into Olympus Coliseum, you'll see how I use it against Zack. And part of the reason I wanted to do this now and not like before the final boss or something like that is specifically for the fight against Zack, because Zack is a really, really annoying fight. He is very speedy, he's possessed by darkness, and he's just difficult to deal with. He's the first difficult boss in Terra's campaign, and it's usually, by the time you get there, you do have a deck like this. And then obviously we're also going to want this deck for Erica's and the final boss, that being Terra. So might as well just have it happen now and just keep it, because this is literally the best thing you can do in this game. At least as Terra. If you are Arcway, you also have Seeker Mine, which is just like the balloon guy of this game. It's literally heat-seeking bombs. It's kind of amazing. Terra doesn't get that. Ventus doesn't even get that. Ventus gets a variation of it, which is also really, really good. It's just like normal mines. And as you can see, that is... have I even used Counter Hammer on screen? I've used a lot on grinding, but I can't remember if I've used it on screen. That is what Counter Hammer does. Also, my finishing move has been upgraded to Rising Rock 2. Not that we're going to be ever using that again, because we're only going to be using Firestorm from now on, because we're going to be using so much Fire Surge. Also, I'm like level 25, because it took like an hour for me to get every command I needed to be melded, and in the process I gained quite a lot of experience. So I accidentally overleveled a little bit, meaning that I'm probably going to be able to skip quite a lot of fights going forward. Meaning that we'll probably... The fact that I did grind probably means that every episode from now on is going to be like 5 minutes short. Probably a little bit more, actually, because the fights themselves, the boss fights, going to be less annoying to deal with. And then the normal unversed fights we can probably just largely ignore. I think you get something for doing something, one of these. This is a boss fight which returns a lot, and I think one of the versions of it gives you... Is that how you get Blade Charge? It might be. In which case, it's definitely worth going through these, because Blade Charge... the great thing about Fire Surge is that it can trigger Firestorm, that's the word I was looking for. It can trigger Firestorm, but it can also trigger Blade Charge, which is a really, really, really good one to have. So if that is how you unlock Blade Charge, which I don't remember if it is, it might be a story-related thing. It might be getting it in Olympus. I seem to remember you getting an Olympus, because I seem to remember using it in the fight against... like the Unversed in Neverland, and it doesn't seem like something you'd get in Deep Space. Maybe you do, and I'm just misremembering. Could very well be possible. As a matter of fact, fairly likely that is the case, but still. You can't use D-Link in here. I actually never noticed that. Oh, we have Rising Rock 2! This is what Rising Rock 2 does. It's decent enough. The max level of it is actually pretty good. I don't think we're gonna get there. And the irony of finishing moves is that the farther you get into the game, the more powerful they become, but also you're probably less likely to use them because you're more likely to have a strategy like this, or just generally inflict one of the, I don't know what they're called, command styles, that's what they're called. Have the command styles happen to begin with, which means that you don't get a normal finisher. Obviously, command styles, much better to get than a normal finisher, because look at the damage I'm doing here. And only part of that is because I'm grossly over-leveled. It's also just because, I think maybe because I'm a fire storm, every damage I do is fire damage, which then gets boosted by fire boosts? Is that how that works? It might be. I don't know. I know Fire Surge itself obviously gets boosted by Fire Boost, even though it's an attack and not a magic-based command. But maybe Firestorm, just like the basic attacks, also get... Because your Keyblade is literally on fire. Would make a certain amount of sense. Certainly. We might have to do the... Well, we don't have to do anything. We might have to do the Monstro one. Because... I don't know if we're high enough level for that. Because it's a pretty difficult one. It's a fight unique to the final mix version of the game as well. Which, honestly, at this point, unless you're playing the original PSP version released in America or the non-final mix Japanese version, which you're probably not, you're playing the final mix version because everybody's playing this on PS3 or 4 at this point. Probably 4. See how much easier this fight becomes when you're, well, 1, over-leveled, and 2, have a shit ton of fire surges, because this fight was a bit of an issue before, wasn't it? It's not really anymore. I mean, it has a lot of HP, a lot more HP, as a matter of fact. Let's, oh yeah, Firestorm is also at level 4. Oh my god, this is why you want Firestorm, by the way. Combined with Fire Boost, Firestorm annihilates everything. That was almost good. Yeah, so this is how you win at everything in the game. So this is how we're going to deal with everything from now on. We Firestorm, Fire Surge, and whenever we need to, we might block or cure. I also should mention, we're 15 minutes into the episode. I haven't mentioned it yet. I should have. I should have used Shotlock one more time. I also have some more abilities which I didn't show off. That being Second Chance, Once More, and Leaf Bracer. Meaning that ensures you will always retain 1 HP after an attack that otherwise would have finished you off, unless you're already down to 1 HP. Ensures that you will always retain 1 HP through a combo, and Leaf Bracer means that you can't be attacked during the use of a Cure command, which is really good. Doesn't work on potions, only works on magic healing. But we can now go to Sinister Sentinel, and if you're watching this for story progression or anything like that, that's not going to happen. We're just going to spend another 10 or so minutes beating up Unversed and just like hanging out a little bit. In the next episode, we'll be going into the next world, which might also be a bit short. And if it is short as I think it is, I probably should have done it today. But I'm afraid that I might just be forgetting something and it's actually a long world, or maybe there's a lot more cutscenes, which I usually would skip, something like that. But if it's a very short episode next time around as well, we'll probably just come back to the Mirage Arena to fill up the episode. I think that's the way I'm going to be doing it from now on. If an episode is too short and I finish the world, I'm just going to come here and beat up some enemies. Maybe do a command board, even. Because I just realized command boards would have been a pretty decent way to level up my commands. Because it actually levels up your commands. Without getting a gross amount of experience for Terra himself. I probably should have done that. I didn't think about that until literally this moment, so I am very, very sorry indeed that I did it the way I did it, but it's a little too late now, isn't it? Again, so much overpoweredness. These enemies do resist fire though, which is the one critical flaw of the strategy, is that anything that doesn't take 100% fire damage will be a little bit annoying because you don't really have anything to properly deal with them. But none of the bosses have that, I don't think. And I think literally only those Unversed are resistant to fire damage. So we can take those Unversed whenever they show up, because it's not that much they show up, honestly. Maybe here in the Mirage Arena it's a little bit more, but I think this might be one of the few places they actually show up. Other than maybe like the first world. I think they do show up in like Enchanted Dominion or some shit like that. Maybe Deep Space. Honestly, I don't know, because Deep Space I usually just end up skipping over most enemies because it's annoying to fight in Deep Space due to the gravity mechanics they have there. Deep Space is, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, is the Lilo and Stitch world, but it actually takes place before Lilo and Stitch. Oh, that is actually a lot of damage. The movie, which makes sense because Birth by Sleep is a prequel. And we see Stitch as a summon in Kingdom Hearts 2. So, feels like that makes a certain amount of sense. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. at least Fire Surge is now at level 3 all around, which means that I think they actually deal more damage when they level up the commands, right? It's not just for melding. I don't know for sure, because usually Fire Surge just melts everything anyway. That's just kind of how it works. That's kind of the thing about it. It's just a really, 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 really good move. That's a waste of focus, but you know what? I don't even mind that much. You're gonna hear this a lot, by the way. Me spamming the X button, because it's a little noisy. Gonna be honest with you. Flame Salvo is a little noisy, but it's probably the easiest to deal a lot of damage with, because you don't have to think about anything. You just have to mash the X button a lot. And mashing the X button is something that I'm at least decently good at, I'd say, because it doesn't require any skill. That's not true, it requires some skill. A while ago, I don't know why or for what it was. I think it was for Mario Party, which I fucking hate Mario Party. That's not entirely true, I just hate losing in Mario Party. I was playing Mario Party with friends and we had a button mashing game, and I got the ever-living shit beat out of me. Which is weird, because I always feel like I'm pretty decent at button mashing. So I don't know what was up with that. I'm not gonna be one of the characters who's like, oh, it's because I had the B controller and it doesn't take inputs as well. I feel like that is just a whole lot of bullshit. Yeah, that's not gonna go in my favor, is it? I feel like that's just a whole lot of bullshit. But after that experience, I don't rule out the possibility of... it was on the GameCube, by the way. I don't rule out the possibility of the GameCube ports actually having a higher definition of inputs, if that makes any sense, for the first controller compared to the other controllers. I very much doubt that it's actually the case, but if it comes out that it actually does end up being true, it wouldn't surprise me as much after that experience. But I'm pretty much just mostly saying that to make myself feel better about losing at button mashing. Because, again, I feel like I'm pretty good at button mashing, especially if it's in short intervals. Because I've played Birth by Sleep an awful lot. And if you play Birth by Sleep, especially as Terra, you know to button mash, because you have Dark Volley as well, usually. If you don't go the Fire Surge, Fire Boost route, which you should... but if you just go how the game is initially designed for you to play through it route, which is using Dark Volley starting at Radiant Garden, which was last episode, and using that for the rest of the game, you still press X a lot, because it's the same exact mechanic as we're using right now with Flame Salvo. It's just dark element magic rather than fire. And there's no dark boost in this game. There's no dark boost in any game. There's dark screen, there's no dark boost. So, yeah, let's kill some bitches. That should not count for attacking you from the front. Just saying. That is fair enough that it counts for... Okay, there's some guys are gonna explode any moment here. Don't want that happening, so let's go mid-air with this fight. Damn it. I momentarily forgot that this is, in fact, not Kingdom Hearts 3, and you can't just indefinitely stay in the air. And some people might be saying, you can't stay indefinitely in the air in Kingdom Hearts 3. Really, though? But I think you can. I think you can is the thing. So, as you can see, this is the evolved version of the fight we just did. Because he's now not chained up anymore. And I need to get the fuck out of there before he kills me. Okay, so maybe use a shot lock. Not a bad idea, because again, that's before starting to mash X and has already done an entire bar of HP. It's quite ridiculous how much damage that deals. Both ways, that goes both ways. Okay, he goes underground, so that's a bit annoying, but him coming back up usually deals quite a lot of damage, and while using a shot lock, you're invincible to that, so that is a good thing. Let's use Fire Surge and not get hit by his laser. Never mind, we got hit by his laser. I want to be able to Firestorm him, is the thing. Okay. Another Flame Salvo might actually do it, especially if he stays so close to me above ground. Curaga! See how stupidly... This is critical mode, by the way. For anybody who's just joining in on us, this is critical mode. Critical mode does not matter if you have this deck and these abilities. The only difference is that fights might take slightly longer. But it doesn't make it necessarily much more difficult. Oh, we got a Xehanort report. Oh, we probably need that, don't we? Yeah, we do. I'm going to end this episode here. And we are going to go to Olympus Coliseum next episode. Until then, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you have enjoyed this video, which hopefully you have. And until next time, I'm a vlogger. You've been awesome. This has been Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And I'll see you back next time. Bye-bye.